guys. So I hope it's not too late. I've been wanting to, this is the next video I told you guys I would make, and it was talking about how to get enough protein on a vegan or a vegetarian diet. So if you guys have questions, let me know. I want you guys to interact and just ask me anything. So when I first became, well, before I became vegan, I was vegetarian for a while. And so I was eating a lot of eggs and a lot of egg whites and a lot of tofu because I was thinking, okay, how am I gonna get enough protein? And I was constantly trying to replace the protein that I was getting with my diet before with something. So when I was like competing and always eating healthy, every single one of my meals had protein and carbs and vegetables or a little bit of fats, but every meal had protein and carbs. So my mind has always thought, okay, each meal needs protein and carbs. So I tried a few things. I've been experimenting because that's what I do. That's what I think the best way is to learn about your body, is to experiment. So it does take a while, and then some of us just want to know the answer right away, so that's why I do it for you. So the first few weeks I did a lot of high protein tofu, and I found this at Trader Joe's, and so I was putting tofu in a lot of my meals. I would just put some turmeric on it and throw it in the oven, and it was really good. But I noticed that I was like super bloated and my stomach was like in knots and something was not right. And I know we all know that tofu contains soy, and there's a lot of myths in bodybuilding that having soy raises your estrogen levels. So for guys that could be a bad thing, for girls it could also be a bad thing. I don't think it's enough. I've read both, so I just decided to try it. So the only thing I noticed was soy does not agree with me. Soy is not good, and the more that I've learned about soy, I see that it's really kind of dangerous and frowned upon, especially since it's one of the, like, they feed this to animals. All the animals in agriculture, they have these huge soy fields, and that's what they feed the animals, and it's just filled with just lots of bad pesticides and stuff. So then I was like, okay, I can't have soy. What am I gonna eat? I'm gonna show you guys what I eat. Okay, so then I was looking for a meat substitute, and I tried a lot of meat substitutes from Trader Joe's. They tasted like dog food. It was disgusting, except some veggie burgers are pretty good, but I was looking for something that wasn't going to add a lot of carbs. So I found this. This is called Beyond Meat, and this tasted pretty good. Like, I do not know what just happened, but Facebook just kicked me off. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I would put this in all my meals during my next phase of experimenting as a vegan. So I forgot to tell you guys, there was a point when I decided I just wanted to give up eggs because they started to kind of gross me out. That was really the only thing that I was having that wasn't vegan. I don't really drink milk. I do eat chocolate though, so I had to find non-dairy chocolate. Anyways, I started to use this in my meals, and if you grill it, it tastes really good to me, at least. And they have different flavors. They have beef, and this has, I would say, per 3 or 4 ounces, it has 20 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, and 3.5 grams of fat. So this was like the closest substitute I could find to chicken, and it gave me my protein intake. It was the same texture, and it was low in carbs and whatever. So I had this in a lot of my meals. Then my next phase as a vegan, I started to feel like, okay, maybe I don't want this. I mean, I know it has, it's kind of processed and it's in a bag, so I always want to go for whole foods and something more natural. So then I started experimenting and researching more, and so I made a huge mistake by trying to replace my meat with something else, like there was a void, and everyone thinks there's this huge void of protein when you switch to a vegan or a vegetarian. And so I started learning more about protein intake, and I was always trying to get at least 15 to 20 grams of protein per meal. And I'm a 130-pound girl, 5'7". Yes, I do lift weights a lot, and I'm always training really hard. So I stopped trying to do that, and I kind of researched that I don't really need that much protein, especially if I'm eating a plant-based diet, because I'm getting the protein from... Oh my God, Facebook seriously hates me right now. Thank you guys if you're tuning in. This is my 3rd time going live because Facebook just kicked me off. Oh my God. Because Facebook just kicked me off. I guess I needed to update my Facebook because I just updated it. So if it does this to me again, I'm going to write Facebook. I don't know. Okay. Back to what I was saying. I'm gonna have to fuse all these videos together now. So if you didn't see the last 2, please go watch those because my phone just shut out of nowhere. Okay. I don't even know what I was saying now. I was talking about replacing protein. Okay, so I started realizing that I was getting protein from the source, getting protein from the plants themselves. When you eat an animal, you're eating dead protein because what do animals eat? They eat plants, whatever. Think about an elephant or a gorilla. They're the strongest animals in the jungle and they eat plants. So they get enough protein, and I started exploring vegetables more and beans and just natural foods that have protein. And I realized I don't need 15 to 20 grams of protein per meal. If you're a guy, you may. But there are ways to get a lot of protein if you do want that. But I kind of cut down on my protein, and I've been monitoring my muscle and my body fat and things like that. And I do not feel like I'm losing muscle at all. I feel fine. I feel great. I've probably cut everything in half. So I would always use like a scoop of protein every time I had a shake. Now I use like half a scoop. So I'm gonna go over some things that have protein that you don't even know. I wrote a list so you guys know. But okay, so broccoli, 2.6 grams of protein per cup, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up whenever you're adding it into your meal. That's just gonna be a small part of your meal. Peas have 8.6 grams per cup. Lentils have 18 grams per cup. Kale, 0.7 grams per cup. Mushrooms, 3.9 grams per cup. Spinach. So imagine having like a huge just bowl. I mean, this sounds delicious to me, but a huge bowl of kale, mushrooms, peas, broccoli, lentils, and then throwing some beans on there and some quinoa, whatever. Another thing is, I haven't even started eating lots of beans yet, but I went to Central Market yesterday, and they have this huge section of all kinds of beans and all kinds of rice and all kinds of peas and things that I've never even seen. So I wrote down all the protein content for you guys. So there's cranberry beans that has 12 grams of protein per 1/4 cup. Black-eyed peas have 10 grams per 1/4 cup. Pinto beans, azuki beans have 10 grams per 1/4 cup. Northern beans, fava beans, cannellini beans, garbanzo beans, which is what they make hummus with. Hummus is great for protein. All these have like 10 to 13, 14 grams of protein per 1/4 cup. Cooked, guys, cooked. So caviar, black lentils, green lentils, brown lentils, and there's all these, I got all these, let me show you. I decided I need to explore my carb sources more. I was always eating sweet potatoes, brown rice, oatmeal. That's about it, red potatoes. So this is black rice or forbidden rice. And this is higher in protein. I think it's about 8 grams per 1/4 cup. This is red rice, which is about the same, also really high in protein. Who's ever had red rice? If you have, let me know, because I want to know what it tastes like and stuff. Actually, this is Himalayan red rice, and this is regular red rice. Black Japonica rice, which is different from the black forbidden rice that you guys saw. This is pure wild rice. Then, of course, there is quinoa. I got this black organic quinoa. There's red quinoa. And other protein sources, I mean, if you are not watching your fats, say you're better on a keto diet, which I will talk about in the next video. I know a lot of people wanted to know about a keto diet, but if you're doing a keto diet, there's chia seeds, nut butters, avocados, you know, everything. All that stuff's really good for you too. But if you were to use MyFitnessPal and track all of your protein and eat straight from these foods, you would see that it's really not hard to rack up on the protein. And I actually found YouTube videos of bodybuilders and guys who eat a plant-based diet, and they show you through their day how they get like 200 grams of protein, which is insane, but if you're that size and you're a bodybuilder, that may be what you need. But I can post these videos below. But one of the first things I did when I became a vegan, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to lose my gains. So I searched out vegan bodybuilders and vegan athletes, and there are a ton, and they kind of show what they eat in their meals. They're a little more creative than I am. I haven't got too creative with my cooking. I've always ate pretty simple because I eat for efficiency and for energy, and then I just go about my day. Now, if I had a chef, then I would ask them to make me amazing vegan meals, but I don't. So, yeah, guys, those are just a few protein sources that you have as a vegan and vegetarian. I guess if you're a vegetarian, you can still have eggs and stuff, and you could still have milk. So you could have yogurt, eggs, egg whites, things like that. But I noticed that now I'm exploring vegetables more than I have in the past, and I'm liking like a big plate of colorful vegetables or salad more than I usually do. And so when I go to a restaurant, I try to get I love crunchy bowls of vegetables, and I love mushrooms now. Mushrooms are a great source of protein. A lot of vegans eat portobello mushroom burgers. So those huge ones, you can use it in the middle as your meat. And then, what else? Yeah. And tempeh is good too. That's another product. I just don't suggest those because they have soy, but soy may be okay with you, but I just don't personally think it's good. So tempeh, tofu, all of that has soy, and a lot of gluten is in the tempeh, so you want to stay away from that if you're gluten intolerant. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Just curious, why did you turn vegan? Okay, awesome. Oh, Michael, that's awesome. What plant-based protein do you use, Michael? I want to know. And then I'm going to tell y'all why I turned vegan. So, when I was competing, and I've done a lot of shows, and I've done a lot of bikini preps, and each bikini prep was at least 12 weeks long of dieting. And I was always eating, just like you've probably seen, very clean chicken, fish, bison, eggs, egg whites. I would eat 6 meals a day. I talked about the soy, Michael, in my last video. See, Facebook kept kicking me off, but I think it is a myth. I mean, if you can test it yourself, they say it boosts your estrogen, but I just don't like it because I think it's bad for you in general, for your stomach. But there's a lot of vegan bodybuilders who use tofu. Okay, sorry, back to the other subject, why I became vegan. So I was always eating chicken, 4 ounces in every meal, sometimes 5 or 6, and just straight protein. And so when I finally stopped competing for a while, I started to experiment with what I wanted to do and just try different things. And just, of course, I wanted to eat foods that I didn't usually eat when I was on my prep. So I would still kind of try to make, again, like have protein in every single meal, because my mind was so conditioned, protein, carbs, every single meal. And I just got sick of chicken. It just got very unappetizing to me, and the smell started to bother me. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna eat fish. And then, you know, it's really easy to get over fish, because fish is fish. I can't eat that every day. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna give up fish. And I was just trying things out. I'm always experimenting with my body and my diet. I like it, I think it's fun. And then I can tell you guys the results. So then I was eating a lot of eggs and egg whites, and that started to become gross to me. And I was also going off how I felt, because when I started to eliminate these meat products, I just felt really, really good. I felt energetic, I felt light, I never felt bloated, or I didn't feel that inflammation that you get. I didn't feel tired, my skin wasn't breaking out as much. I just felt better. I couldn't really explain it. I just felt just so clean. And so then I decided to give up eggs, and I was like, I guess I'm just gonna be vegan. And I wrote my coach, and he thinks I'm crazy, because first I told him, hey, can you write me a vegetarian diet? And he was like, what? And then the next week I was like, hey, can you write me a vegan diet? And he's like, what do I feed you? So I've been trying to explore myself, and it's gonna be a challenge for him when I do a show to do a vegan diet. But so I became vegan, I committed to it, I just felt better, and I'm just not into meat. I don't smell it anymore, and I don't want it. It's just, I don't know what happened to me, something in my body just kind of started rejecting it. And then, so I decided to become vegan, and I just felt really good. And I hadn't watched any of the documentaries yet. Like I told you guys, I had never seen the vegan documentaries that everyone watches, and then they're like, oh my God, I'm never eating meat again. So I just barely watched those a couple weeks ago. I watched Cowspiracy, and I watched What the Health, which are both on Netflix. And those were very eye-opening, because it talks about protein intake, it talks about what animal products do to your body, it talks about how much water you're wasting when you're eating an animal product, it talks about the animals. It's not too graphic, so it's good, it's pretty educational. It talks about, you know, everything. It just talks about people seeing huge dramatic changes in their diabetes, and their blood pressure, cholesterol, and cancer. I mean, it's incredible. So that definitely made me want to be vegan even more. And so I feel great, and I've only been doing this for 6 months, so I'm sure I'll keep updating you guys with my progress and how everything's going. I want to go vegan. I know I don't have to go vegan. And I think honestly, veganism and vegetarianism is getting more popular, and people may think like, oh, it's just trendy and this and that, but if you do realize how much it saves the earth and animals and all that, it's really a great thing for the longevity of our planet and, you know, our rainforests and things like that. So let's see, what's your take on protein drinks and bars as the main source? No, I think you should have a variety of sources of protein, not just protein drinks. I do use a plant protein powder though, so I'll use that once or twice a day, and it's usually a blend of pea protein, hemp protein, brown rice protein, or something of the sort. Let's see. Any certain oils you recommend for cooking? I love coconut oil. I just think it tastes amazing. I put that all over like butternut squash, and then I put cinnamon and stevia, and it's super good. Okay, I think that's all the questions. So if you missed the first 2 videos, I got kicked off Facebook, and you can go watch those. And yeah, I'm glad to share with you guys how I'm currently getting protein as a vegan. And if you guys have any more questions, the next video I make will be about keto diet, because I have done the keto diet, and then I have done like a high carb, or not high carb, pretty high carb for me, low fat diet. So I've done a diet with fats and protein mainly, and then I've done a diet with carbs and protein mainly, and I had 2 different outcomes. So I'll share that in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. If you don't follow me on Instagram yet, go follow me on, it's at AshleyGFit_. And I hope you guys have a great night. Drop me your questions for the next video.